They say grief can be faked, but truth leaves fingerprints. On August 2nd, 2018, Angel Sawyer told detectives a harrowing tale.
He had a mask on. He was wearing all black. I didn't know it was him.
Her voice trembled with practiced fear. She insisted she didn't recognize the intruder. Not then, not ever. But the detective didn't flinch. He simply asked,
I believe that you were there. You know you were there. You know he did it, without a doubt. Based on everything he's told us, be truthful about the relationship. There's more. Y'all did more than talk. It was sexual, correct?
That single question fractured her entire illusion. This moment draws directly from schema disruption theory, a psychological principle where a person's mental script collapses when new information doesn't fit. Angel's story relied on not knowing her husband's killer, but her own words, echoed back to her, betrayed the truth and shattered the mask she tried to wear.
But you should also be terrified of him because you saw him kill your husband.
But the pertinent questions are, who is this cunning lady? What happened on August the 2nd, 2018, and how detectives psychologically trap her with a perfect bait. Welcome back to my channel. I don't have many followers, but your single comment is a ray of hope for me. It was a warm summer night in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. On August 2nd, 201, the humidity clung to the air as dusk settled in. And the Sawyer household, nestled quietly along Harrington Road, seemed like any other home winding down for the evening. Milton Sawyer, a well-known gold buyer and respected business owner, had just returned home with his wife, Angel Sawyer, after shopping for their daughter's college supplies. To anyone looking in, they were a couple preparing for a new chapter, sending kids off to school, focusing on family. But inside the Sawyer home, darkness was brewing. Around 10:45 p.m., Angel claimed she got up to get a snack when a masked man in black burst through the door, ordering them to the floor at gunpoint. She later told police they were both assaulted and that the intruder ransacked the house in what appeared to be a home invasion.
911 location emergency.
Yes, my name is Carl. I live at 18 Darien Drive. My next door neighbor just came and knocked on my door. When I went to the door, she is crying and she says she thinks her husband is dead.
Okay, so what's her address?
It's right next door.
Okay.
She's at my house right now.
All right, and what makes she think that he is deceased?
She says she can't get him to wake up.
Okay.
She says the guy broke into the house. He has a gun. She's got blood on her face where he hit her with the gun.
Wait a second. So was this a domestic?
No, this was another guy.
Another guy broke into the house?
Another guy broke into the house, correct? Not your husband, just, no. She says the guy that broke into the house killed her husband.
Okay, all right. Where's the other guy at right now?
Where is the other guy out?
I just woke up with this all over and I was
I have no idea where the other guy is.
Okay,
now.
I'll tell you what, for your safety, just stay in the house and lock your door and keep her inside your house, okay?
Yes.
We got law enforcement and fire and EMS on the way. Can she describe what the person looked like? Or does she know the person?
She says the person had a mask on, correct? So, no, she doesn't know the person.
All right, can she tell if he's white or black?
Was he white or black? He was completely dressed in black. Said he was yelling and cussing a lot. He robbed their house, took all their money.
Did he have a pistol, a rifle, or a shotgun?
What kind of gun did he have? A pistol. A long black gun. He hit her really hard in the head, but it was a pistol, but it was a long one.
A long barrel pistol, okay.
Mm-hmm. Tied them up in the bathroom.
She was tied up also?
Yeah, she still got some of the tape and stuff on her hands. It's like wideband black electrical tape, is what it looks like.
Okay. Is it still on her?
Still on her hands.
Okay, tell her, do not touch it, do not take it off, okay? Let the officer do that when he gets there, okay?
Yeah.
Just leave what's on her until they collect his evidence, okay?
Right.
Because they might have fingerprints on it from the suspect.
Right.
Can she remember anything else about this person that broke in?
She says he sounded white.
Okay. Did the suspect shoot her husband, or do you think he's dead because of the injury?
Because of the injury.
And
the husband's the one that's been injured. She says he won't wake up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the police are here.
You see the deputy sheriff?
I see the police car.
Okay. Can you turn your porch light on, sir, and stay on the phone with me?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
It's on. It stays on. Yeah, here he comes.
All right, I'm going to let you go, sir, okay? You've been a big help.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
But something didn't add up. There were no signs of forced entry, and a key had been left outside. Investigators soon uncovered a web of deleted messages and secret communication between Angel and Isaac Melcher, her lover and former therapist. Upon suspicion, the police arrested both Isaac and Angel to interrogate. But today we will just focus on the psychological aspects of Angel's interrogation.
Well, you're going to be completely disappointed in me because I have a blunt issue. I guess it's better to know. We'll start with easy stuff first.
Okay.
And when did you and Milton date long before you got married?
Um,
And I was just curious. As long as I know Milton, you've been around, so I know nothing about your guys' background.
we dated, I guess, a year. We're engaged a year.
What year did y'all get married? What year did you get married?
2012.
And y'all don't have any kids together, right? Y'all just both have kids from other marriages.
Yes, sir.
But between the two of y'all have 7 kids. And y'all have 5 that are in college this year.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Well, we're both sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry you're having to go through all this. People are kind of talking about you and talking to you about, just personal stuff, and we're getting 5 times as much of that about basically everybody that ever shopped at the store.
Right.
So it's just, there's a lot of stuff coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it's not true, some of it is true. But do you think you'd be okay to talk to us for a little while today? Like, are you going to
I
be
want to
like,
clear everything up.
okay.
Everybody that knows us actually knows that we have a good relationship. We've had, like any marriage things, I had a hard time our first year of dating, as you would ask. I found out later, after we were already engaged, that he had been with 2 other women. And it was, but we got through it. I mean, it was hard. He was always very jealous. I mean, it was hard for him because he's always said, "You're so attractive, you could have anyone you want." And, I would always reassure him that I just wanted him. But we dealt with that a lot. A lot of, people would say things, customers, different things. Most people thought I was his daughter. That was hard.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, the detective leads with empathy, offering condolences for Angel's loss and acknowledging how difficult everything must feel. This isn't just kindness. It's a psychological tactic meant to lower Angel's guard. By establishing a sense of emotional safety, the detective creates an environment where the suspect feels less threatened and more inclined to talk.
The only recent thing, though, was I had been in a car accident and had gone to physical therapy, and my appointment had been canceled, so I forwarded him the voice message. And for whatever reason, he realized that it's a guy that I'm going to physical therapy with. And obviously, if you've ever been to physical therapy, you're in a room full of people. It's not like, but it bothered him. Like, he looked him up on Facebook, sent me a screenshot of his picture, said he's attracted, and I said, "No, he's not. I'm attracted to you. I love you. I don't care about this guy." But he was still having a hard time with it. He would get angry every time we went. So I finally just quit. I said, "I'd rather be in pain physically than to make you suffer. If it was that important to you that I not go to physical therapy, I won't go." Everything was great. Everything was perfect. We went to the beach. I believe it was in May. We had been there about an hour or so. Then all of a sudden he became really angry, and I was like, what's the problem? What's wrong? Because I was facing this way towards the houses. He was facing this way towards the beach and our chairs. and he said, your effing therapist is here with his family. And I was like, so? It's a beach. It's full of people. People from Elizabeth City go to the beach. I mean, and he got really angry. He insisted that I planned it. It took a few weeks, but, you know, he eventually was like, yeah, I guess, you know, it really doesn't make sense. Why am I going to meet at the beach with his wife and kids and my husband? I mean, anybody that knows us that hangs out at the shop knows that I loved him, he loved me, and we were past it all. It had been months ago.
The detective doesn't interrupt Angel. In fact, he gives her ample space to explain, vent, and provide long, emotionally charged accounts. This is intentional. The more she talks, the more likely she is to trip over her own fabrications.
Well, did you ever have a relationship with your therapist? Do you even know his name?
Well, I mean, I saw him for 2 sessions. His name's Isaac. But, I mean, I never had any relations with him at all.
You were like, toss him on the phone, like Facebook, anything?
When I was first going in and everything, we talked just because you get to know people. And I knew we had a wife and kids, you know, went to church and whatever. And he started, he wanted me to look at pictures of his family or something. And they had gone on a trip of some sort. But I told Milton, you know, that's what it was. It wasn't anything. And he was fine. I mean, he had put recorders in the car. He had put recorders in the shop. I mean, if I was going to leave him, I would leave him. I wouldn't hurt him. But even then, I wouldn't. I mean, we've been making plans. He and I have been discussing a lot, and you can check with other people that hang out at the shop, that we were going to get out of this business because I didn't like it. I didn't like dealing with these drug addicts. It scared me. I didn't like it because I felt like I was supporting their habit. And, you know, he looked at it as a way to sometimes provide for the family. And, you know, we didn't always agree on that. The night of everything, we had been shopping for the girls' college stuff, and he got a call from Dylan. And Dylan wanted to meet at Hardee's with his girlfriend, Robin, and bought a TV that obviously had been ripped out of the wall. It had, you could see that, you know, it's in the truck if you want to see it, but I basically was upset with him. And I was crying the whole way home from Hardee's to our home. And I got out of the car, went inside, and he sent me a text, which you can look at, that says that he needs to start taking my advice, that he was sorry, that he loved me. You can see from the post that he's recently posted on Facebook that we had gotten past all of that stuff. I would never cheat on him. It's just not who I am, you know.
Well, let's go back to Isaac for a minute. So you never had a relationship with Isaac. Like, do you think that he might have thought there was something there? Like, did he seem inappropriate with you in any way? Like,
yes, but I told my husband, and every time he would try to, I mean, again, you can look at my phone, there were probably 2 or 3 different names he tried to use to friend request me.
really?
But
Is that what you mean? Because we talked the other day, you said he seemed obsessed. Isaac seemed obsessed, is the word you...
Well, I just felt like he kept trying to reach out to me. He would come up with different names to friend request.
Rather than directly challenging inconsistencies, the detective circles back to earlier parts of Angel's narrative, asking her to elaborate or clarify. This forces her to commit to specific versions of events, making it harder for her to adjust her story later.
One time, my husband was actually going to go over there to confront him. And then one time, we saw him at Muddy's, which, you know, Milton was like, that's weird. He's never been here before. We go to Muddy's every day. And we had never seen him there ever. And Milton was really upset about it and was angry. And, you know, he told me afterwards that he was sorry for being upset with me, that it's not my fault. You know, there's customers, I think I told Dan that there's this guy that came in a few weeks ago that when my husband left for the post office, I stayed on the phone the whole time because he was like, you really draw men in. and just was like, that's what drew me into your store. It was just really inappropriate. He came back a few days, right, I think Monday this week, and it made me nervous. I called Milton into the office. I went into the office and called him in there, and I said, "That's that guy again." And he said, "It's okay." I just stayed in the office, but the guy kept hanging around right where he could see the door, and just kept like staring at me like this. Just unfortunately, I deal with a lot of that, unfortunately, and it's always been an issue, but we've always gotten past it. He's always admitted he's very insecure. He's always admitted, which you can ask his friends, that he was always worried that I would do something like that, which I wouldn't.
Was business good, or like how are you guys' finances?
Right now, it's not good.
Really?
Just to give you an example, I can for some reason get incoming calls, but Milton handled all the bills. Milton handled everything. Milton handled all the money. I never, and this isn't a negative thing. I don't want it to be taken this way, but the way he did his business was to have cash to pay. So I never had money. If I needed something, I would ask him. But the thing is, because of his insecurity, I was never not with him, ever, to have an affair. I mean, he didn't let me go to the grocery store without him. I haven't driven in months because that whole incident at the beach. I mean, I haven't been able to be home with my kids until he comes home. I have to stay with him all the time. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I didn't mind doing that because I love my husband. And if it made him feel better that I was there all the time so he could know that I loved him, then that was fine. I said to him, not too long ago, was I have less freedom than a maximum security prisoner. And he said, I'm sorry that I'm so insecure. I'm really trying. And I said, it's okay. We have no life insurance. We have no health insurance. 2 other things just sold over the weekend on eBay that are in the store that I guess I need to probably try to shoot.
Instead of accusing Angel of wanting her husband dead, the detective introduces topics like financial struggles, marital stress, and family tension. This subtly opens a door, allowing Angel to frame a possible confession as one born of desperation rather than evil intent.
So essentially, whatever was in the safe or was at the house was all the cash that you guys had liquid?
That's it.
Okay.
We literally, Milton busted his ass every day to make sure everybody was taken care of.
Okay.
And yes, our children are mostly grown, and most people would say maybe they should be paying their own bills, but we pay their insurance, we pay their phone bills.
Let's go back to the day, right? And let's just do like the time you woke up until everything happened.
The only thing I can remember is
Just like when you
basically
woke up.
from going to dinner.
Okay.
Okay, we ate dinner at Tony's. After that, we went to Ollie's.
Okay.
Because we've been trying to find extra long twin sheets for the girls for college. We got a phone call from Dylan, and we were waiting in the Harvey's parking lot for a while. And then they pulled up.
You have any idea what time that was?
Maybe 8:30, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Then, like I said, I was upset, and I went into the bathroom, and I was crying, and if you want, I can pull up the text that my husband sent.
I think when I looked at your phone last week, I think I looked up.
Okay. Basically said he would take my advice from now on whenever he was sorry.
When you got home, you were upset. Did you guys have any conversation to rectify?
Oh yeah, everything was fine.
Okay, so how much?
He sent that text. He said he was sorry.
Yeah.
We made love.
Okay.
We were fine. I mean, I came to bed, and he was, we were very affectionate with one another, and yeah, I didn't even have clothes on with this man.
Okay. And the reason that I was asking is that we were trying our best to narrow down the timeline, for other there's surveillance cameras and things like that people may be coming and going.
Our relationship, I only say this so you understand, had gotten so great and was so good that I was joking with him because we would literally make love every morning and night, every day, for the last few months. And he'll always make the joke, "Are you sure? I mean, you must be getting tired of me." Like, no, I'm not. I mean, our relationship was good. All I keep thinking is, what if I would have pushed the guy down? What if I could have done something?
That's completely normal.
I don't know. I feel guilty being alive, and that's why I won't eat or drink. Because if he can't eat or drink, I don't want to. I know I have to be strong for my kids, but I just don't feel like I can. I just want to be with him.
When Angel details the night of the murder, right down to emotional intimacy and casual snack runs, the detective never outright questions her memory, but he's paying attention. Trauma survivors often have fragmented, fuzzy memories. Angel's overly polished and emotionally balanced account rings false.
I know you had a lot of jewelry. Do you think that you would know, like, if it was yours or not?
He always chose to give me unique pieces.
Okay.
I do have a lot of unique pieces.
She actually told us about the key by the little planner table.
Yeah, that's where we leave it. I know,
Like, do you have your own key, or is that how you get in?
That's how we get in.
Okay.
It's so weird, but we have so many kids and in and out, and we just, I don't know, I chose that key because it blended with it. But every time we would give the kids keys, they would lose them, or we would put it under the mat and they would forget to put it back. And so we just finally just left it there. And I asked Tori if she locked it, and she doesn't remember. And I don't want her to feel guilty for it. I don't want her to stress that it's her fault.
In my experience level, I feel that the person that did it had at least likely been to the door before, because normal people would go to the front door. Even in Eastern North Carolina, everybody uses the side door or the back door, but most people start at the front door.
Right.
And if that's locked, they're obviously not used, and they'll go to the back door. But by all appearances, it seems that whoever did it went to the back door.
She said, "I'm going to get my stuff and go stay at my friend's in Camden." And I said, "Are you sure?" Because I knew she was tired and she had a long day. And she said, "Well, yeah, I guess it's easier to get to work in the morning since we're commuting." Thank God that she wasn't there.
Do you remember, and this is a really specific question, but do you remember how many episodes before or after she left? Like, do you remember kind of where you were at in your timeline of leading up to when everything happened?
I know we were in the middle of one.
Okay.
I would say we watched 3, so 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. Yeah, so she would have been there at 10:40. We would have been probably in the second one.
Okay.
Watched the third one. We usually watch TV till 1:30. That's a typical thing for us.
When you decided to get up and get a drink and a snack, let's start there.
Milton's side table was here, as you know.
Which side of the bed did he sleep on?
Right there.
I thought he was closest to the bedroom.
So, probably can't stand him really weak. Yeah, the door, that table that my head was hit on, in the bed.
Okay.
Milton slept here, and I slept on that side.
Okay.
I had my hand on the door, and I said, "Let me go get us a snack and a drink." I said, "What do you want?" As I started to open it. Well, it came towards me, and he was there. Started screaming. All I saw was the gun. He had the gun right in my face. "Get on the floor, effing bitch, blah, blah, blah." And he kept pointing the gun, saying, I said, "Get on the floor." And Milton was like, "Honey, just get on the floor." And I said, "I just want to put a shirt on." I was afraid if I was naked that maybe he would me, and I was scared, so I just wanted to put a shirt on. And so I put Milton's shirt on, and then I immediately laid right there on the floor by that chair. And Milton cooperated. He got on the floor as well. And I couldn't see what was happening other than I was crying and I was begging him to stop, and he just kept telling me to shut that up, shut that up.
As Angel weaves her narrative, crying, recounting physical abuse, begging for mercy, she begins to emotionally unravel. The detective doesn't rush to capitalize on it. Instead, he lets her emotional resources burn out. This taps into the concepts of decision fatigue and ego depletion.
He cussed a lot. I mean, he just mostly that's what he said. The F word, called me a baby. I mean, I don't cuss a lot, so it's hard for me to say all those words. He picked Milton up first. I don't know how, or if he was partly taped. I don't understand. I don't know how it logistically moved into the bathroom, but he did get to the bathroom.
What was Milton taped before you?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see how it happened?
No, like I said, I was laying on the ground by that chair.
Mm-hmm.
Milton, he had him on the ground right next to the bed in front of the door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he just taped his hands. I don't know what he taped, but I could hear it. And then he took him to the bathroom first and put him on the floor. And then
How did you get him to the bathroom? Did you order him to the bathroom?
that's what I don't know. That's part still vague as to how he got to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I could hear the tape, but Milton's a pretty big man. I don't know how he would have gotten there. In the bathroom, he was on top of Milton.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember because I was next to the tub, and I kept saying, get off of him, and he kept pointing the gun and saying, shut the fuck up, I'll shoot you, I swear to God, I'll shoot you, I'll shoot him. I don't know if he was on top of him because he was taping his feet, but I just know Milton was face down. It was dark. He never turned any lights on, I guess for obvious reasons. The only light was because the TV episode, when it's waiting, and so it would, the TV made a noise. It made it sound like a person, obviously. And he immediately panicked, I think, because he was like, I thought you said no one was here. Is there kids here? I swear to God, I'm going to kill them. Where are they? Is there kids upstairs? I mean, he just kept, and he left the bathroom for a second. So I was trying to go over to Milton, but then he came back, and then that's when he taped my hands. And he grabbed me by the hair, drugged me into the room. He was out there going through stuff, and he couldn't find the jewelry. And I know Milton had already given him the keys, I think, told him where they were anyways. When he was taping Milton up, and when I was laying down over here, he kept saying, you're the Elizabeth City gold buyer, you're the big gold buyer. I know, just kept saying stuff about Elizabeth City gold buyer. And on our Facebook and stuff, it's almost like he was quoting, like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems, I don't know, maybe it's just coincidental. Maybe he just has been in the shop, which I think he has, because he kept yelling to me, I know you got a lot of jewelry, I've seen all the jewelry you wear, I don't, where is it? He couldn't find it. I don't have a typical jewelry box. It's a lingerie cabinet, but it's full of jewelry, as you know, you've seen it. So when he drove me out there, I basically said it's right there. And then that's when he hit me and I went down.
Rather than applying pressure, the detective allows Angel to express her guilt, her sadness, and her mental fatigue. This provides her with emotional relief and sets the stage for a confession to feel like a moral cleansing.
I will have some jewelry stuff I wanted to show you today and talk to you about some other leads we had.
Okay.
And in the turn of events this morning, Isaac has been under arrest. He's come in this morning.
Good.
So,
That's him.
well, he's said a lot of stuff about you.
About me? What?
Well, that's what we need to talk about.
Okay.
And get straight. He's told us stuff about the affair, and then things about you want to leave Milton, and so we need to get all that out in the open.
And something else that we wanted to talk about is that there's I had an interaction a little over a week ago with your Facebook Messenger stuff.
Yes, sir.
And we've started to get some records back. And it appears that you guys have been in communication for a while through a variety of different apps, which kind of negates what you were saying earlier, that, it was always like a one-sided conversation.
I mean, and I had answered in the beginnings, but I mean, my husband was involved in the whole time. Anytime that, when it was in the beginning, like I said, about just accepting his friend request because he had told me during the, session that he was on the trip with his family and wanted me to look at the pictures and everything else. But anything else, There
were two-way communications with you guys, like, recently. You know what I mean? So it's like, even after the trip to the beach and all that kind of stuff? Like, there's stuff happening.
I have not communicated with him after since he called me, and I called Aaron and told him immediately. And those 2 calls happened, and I shared them with you immediately because he had contacted me, and I wanted you to know that he had contacted me. I have not contacted him in any way, shape, or form, nor communicated with him in any way, shape, or form.
The detective informs Angel that Isaac Melcher has been arrested and is talking. This isn't just a news update. It's a deliberate tactic designed to destabilize her mental defenses. By introducing Isaac's confession, the detective creates a sense of urgency and betrayal.
But see, that's the thing. This is what I want to talk to you about. I know that's not true because of what he told us. Like, for example, you told him that we took your phone and had your phone for 5 hours. How would he know that? You had to talk to him. That shows he's telling me the truth. This dude, for whatever reason, he's crazy about you. He's in love with you.
But that has nothing to do with me, I swear to you.
Maybe it doesn't, but my point is, I think you know what happened. You were there, you know what happened. It was a plan. He's already told us it's a plan.
I didn't
The difference is
plan
this.
anything.
I think you're afraid of him.
I'm terrified of him because he's crazy.
But you should also be terrified of him because you saw him kill your husband.
I do not know that it was him or not him. He did not address me in any shape or form.
No,
And he was,
let's get away from that.
Now, I'll tell you why. Because the initial plan was to give Milton pills and vodka.
was to give him pills and Vicodin. I don't even
Vodka.
have any of that.
Pills and vodka.
Pills and vodka to make it like overdose.
Yeah.
We don't even, unless we're out, we don't even drink alcohol.
Isaac told us all about when y'all met. He said it didn't turn sexual till like Christmas of last year, like the end of Christmas.
Once she's caught in multiple lies, the detective subtly shifts tone. He doesn't attack. Instead, he offers a way out, suggesting that maybe she was afraid of Isaac, that maybe she didn't want this to happen.
We know that he bought you a phone so that you wouldn't be communicating on that.
I have not touched a phone that he purchased. I know nothing about, I do not have a phone that he purchased or any of that. One of his messages may have said that, but I had blocked him. But I do not have another phone. I have not had another phone from him. I swear I will take a lie detector test.
I care about you enough. I want to put you in the best light. Understand that, okay?
Yes.
I believe that you were there. You know you were there. You know he did it, without a doubt. Based on everything he's told us, there's nothing you can say to me that's going to make me believe anything else. I think this person came in your house. He was in love with you and would do anything to be with you, including kill Milton.
But I didn't want to be with him.
I understand that. But if he's this obsessed with you, that he would do this, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't tell him no?
I didn't.
You need to put yourself in front of this, because right now he's trying to throw you under the bus. You understand that?
He has told us everything.
Yes, if you're afraid of him and he's done all this stuff and you knew about it, but you're just afraid of him, then now's the time. He is locked up in handcuffs downstairs right now. He is not going to come after you. But you need to look out for you. And that means you're going to have to tell us exactly what the deal was.
He is obsessed with me. You're right. And I told him that I'm in love with my husband. I'm staying with my husband and all that. When we were having physical therapy several times, yes, there were probably 2 times that you can go ask other people that I was crying and upset because Milton was mad at me for coming to physical therapy. I in no way, shape, or form wanted to be with this guy, ever. He made it very clear in some of his messages that he was obsessed with me. And he had said different ways of which he could get rid of him. And I explained to him that I was not interested in anything like that. I love Milton. I want to spend the rest of my life with Milton. And when he came in, it did not click with me, honestly, who it was, because it happened so fast until he was on top of Milton. And I was begging him to please stop. I love my husband. I want to be with him. Please stop. And that's when you put the gun in my head. And he said, shut the f up, bitch. This is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I will never be with you. I will never be with you. You're terrifying me. I hate you. All of those things.
As Angel denies ongoing communication with Isaac, the detective quietly reveals they've recovered messages from her Facebook and other apps. Rather than confronting her with each message, he lets her lie first, then contrasts her statements with the evidence.
What was the plan he was telling?
He was telling me that he had gotten some prescription for some kind of car accident him and his wife were in. And he had asked me if I would get some pills and leave them outside so he could, leave them somewhere so he could crush them up and he'd put them in. And I just kept ignoring it and ignoring it and ignoring it. And I never in my life thought that they would come to this. But I did not plan this. It was not me. I have no desire to be with him. I have nothing.
Let me ask you this. He knew that there was no kids that night. Did you talk to him? How did you know there was no kids there?
No, I didn't.
And that's not talking to him and, hey, tonight's a good night to do something.
No, I swear to
Did you talk to him at all?
I never talked to him. When that door opened, the door, and he was right there, I had not spoken to him at all. It completely caught me off guard that somebody was there, and everything up until the bathroom when he was on top of him. And I kept saying, please get off of him, please get off of him. And he heard the TV. He asked if there was any effing kids there. He left the room. When he came back, I still wasn't real sure, but then he was like, what, are you afraid of me now? Are you afraid of me now? And I was like, then it clicked. He's psychotic. I mean, what does he do? He knew that I had told him I didn't want anything to do with him.
Did Milton, before Milton died, did he know it was Isaac?
No, I don't know.
You know if he did. But before Milton passed, did you know it was Isaac? Because you said you were yelling at him that you love your husband.
Well, the only thing
so was he still in the act of doing stuff when you were?
He was on top of him when I was telling him to get off of him, get off of him. He put the gun to my head and was like, shut the f up, bitch. This is gonna happen. I'm not stopping. And I was just crying and screaming, and I don't know at what point.
Be truthful about the relationship. There's more. Y'all did more than talk. It was sexual, correct?
There were 2 times.
There were 2 times. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Where did that happen?
At the clinic and behind COA. And it was actually 3 times. There was a parking spot on the highway on 17. It happened just a couple times, and it was at a time when things were bad in our marriage. I'm not making an excuse for it, but as far as anything sexually or anything, any kind of relationship, it has been months. I mean, that thing that happened at the beach was in the beginning of May. I hadn't even spoken to him or been with him since before that, because I was surprised when we saw him at the beach. I mean, it wasn't a planned thing.
When Angel tries to downplay the nature of her relationship with Isaac, claiming she hasn't spoken to him or that it wasn't sexual, the detectives gradually introduce contradicting facts. But rather than accuse her of lying outright, they use phrases like, but here's what he told us, or that's not what the messages show. This avoids triggering defensive shutdown.
So how did you guys communicate?
Through Messenger.
Facebook Messenger.
Yep, and that's it. See, I have no phone. I have no other way. Never spoken to him on my phone. Never has he called me except for the 2 times that I spoke to Aaron and told him. The reason I guess I didn't realize it was him until the end was because why he was demanding the keys to the shop or was saying stuff about gold buying. And then I honestly had no clue because I was like, wait, he's asking for all these things. But I didn't plan it. I didn't know he was coming.
He's saying he took all that stuff as part of the plan just to make it look like a robbery.
Well, that was not my plan.
That's all he's saying. But he's saying, I'm telling you, he's saying it's all pre-planned between the 2 of you.
And then you saw him in the hallway when you went out to get a drink, that you met him in the hallway and talked about it. And the only reason he knew to come was because the kids were gone. And we had a transmission where you guys did talk on Facebook Messenger the day before.
Right, but I did not know he was coming. I had no idea how he knew the kids wouldn't be there because I'm telling you the truth. My daughter was there until 10:40. At 10:40 at night, until I was literally laying in bed, I did not plan for him to come. I had not communicated with him at all about when the kids would be there or any of those things. I swear to you, I became afraid of him when he talked like that. And I told him, if I were going to leave my husband, I would leave my husband. I'm not going to leave my husband. He said, I can't live without you. I can't be without you. I'll do anything to be with you. He, from my understanding, had already told his wife he was leaving her. And I told him, you should work out your marriage. You have these 3 young kids. They need their father. I'm not going to be with you. So we hadn't been fighting for months. Everything had been perfect. We worked on a relationship. We got help. I did not plan anything as far as killing him. Every time he would mention things, I would say, no, I'm not going to do that.
So he may be using the word plan. He did discuss it with you, what he wanted to do.
He asked me about the pills, asked if I'd be willing to give him the pills.
And I'm just saying, from his perspective, he may be thinking y'all are having a conversation.
I guess.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, but I didn't.
And that's what I'm trying to get. So what else was he telling you he wanted to try to do, or what was the conversation
That's
like?
the only thing he ever said.
The detective carefully shifts from, did you plan this, to what was the plan? And later, what else did he tell you he was going to do? This subtle shift assumes guilt without requiring a direct admission. It bypasses the yes or no wall of denial and invites elaboration. This is a textbook use of presupposition and linguistic framing, rooted in conversational implicature theory.
As far as anything with regards to him that I can recall was to crush up pills. And does he ever drink alcohol? I said no. And, that's it. I mean, that's what he planned on. He had asked me to do. That's the only
And did
plan.
you try that when you first got it? Did you try to give him what they do?
No, I have never given him. I never did that. I never took any pills. I never crushed any pills. I never gave Isaac any pills. None of that stuff. None of it.
But did he try to do that when he got it? Did he try to make Milton take
No,
pills?
not to my knowledge.
And then when did he actually smack you? Because he's telling us that after everything was over is when he smacked you to make it look like you were beat up and he taped you up.
No, when he came, that's when he took me out of the bathroom, and I tried to go back in to see if Milt was okay, and he said, "No, he's already dead. He's already dead, bitch. There's no way you can save him." And that's when I went towards the phone, and he hit me right here.
Is that how he talks to you?
No,
Like
I've
a normal?
never. That's what I'm saying. I never heard him speak like that, so I didn't know it was him. Because no, and then that's when I freaked out and I was terrified because I never heard any of that kind of talk. I've never heard him talk like that. I've never any of those things. But I didn't plan anything. That was not my intention for him to do that.
What did he tell you when he left? Did he say he had a conversation with you before he left that night? What did he say to you? I mean, you knew it was him, so
When he left,
yeah.
the only thing
He
he
said
said,
he talked to you.
the only thing he said to me when he left was, "This is the story you're going to tell the police, and if you don't, then I'll come after you and your kids." And that's why I haven't said those things, because I don't care if someone comes after me, but I needed to protect my kids. After the kids were gone to school, then I was saying I had a meeting with you, to be honest. I just needed them to be gone so that they were protected, and he couldn't find them. First time he called, he said, "I need to talk to you." I said, "No, I'm not talking to you. I hate you. I want nothing to do with you. I'm terrified of you," and I hung up. Then he called right back. He said, "You mean you're never going to talk to me again? I can't live with this. I can't handle this. I did this because I want to be with you. You're telling me you don't want to be with me." I said, "Absolutely not." I said, "I'm terrified of you. I don't want you contacting me." And he said, "Well, are the police talking to you?" And I said, "Yeah, of course they're talking to me. They've had my phone for 5 hours. They've all that stuff." I said, "And I'm going to hang up the phone and tell them that you called me and contacted me. And I'm going to show them if you message me." I never responded to those 2 message things that I sent to you. And I never spoke to him again except for the phone call, which I told you. And that's it.
Finally, the detective doesn't demand a full confession. Instead, he walks her through smaller admissions. By breaking down the offense into digestible fragments, the suspect can admit to small truths without confronting the overwhelming weight of the whole crime. This is based on the foot-in-the-door technique, a psychological principle where people are more likely to comply with a large request if they first agreed to a smaller one.
Did he ask you what you told us, if you were sticking to the story or anything when you talked to you?
No, the only thing I said to him was, I said, "The only thing I know is that they don't know." who did it, and I did what you told me to, so don't come after me, don't call me, don't talk to me, don't try to, don't hurt about me and my kids. I said, but I don't want anything to do with you. So I'm gonna call the detective as soon as we hang up, and I'm gonna let him know that you called me. So you would be smart to not contact me ever again, and he hasn't.
What would be his reason for coming and telling us everything he's told us?
I have no idea.
From the first day you met Isaac, let's just start there, and let's just go through your whole relationship until today.
We had physical therapy, obviously, and then
And why were you in physical therapy?
I was in a car accident for my knee and for my neck.
Okay.
I continued physical therapy, and he does needling, like acupuncture. I started maybe in September. As it got, like he said, closer to Christmas, it became more of a flirtatious thing and whatever. And we were going through hard times, not that that makes an excuse. And then there were a couple times that we met, like I said, over there by COA.
Did you tell him your complaints about home life? Did he tell you his complaints about home life?
I think, not that I had done that, but I think during physical therapy, like I said, Milton didn't like me going because he was, jealous, and obviously rightfully so. So I finally quit. And unfortunately then I was still going through a lot of pain. And so Milton said, you just need to go back. And I said, no, because I don't want you to be upset. He said, I'll try to be not upset about it. And then I started back at physical therapy. And then started, somewhat, I guess, of a relationship. As far as I knew, he was happily married with kids. He told me he would never leave his wife. He would never leave his kids. And that's when I realized that it was stupid for me to do this. He made it very clear that he was never going to leave his family. He was never going to be with me. So what's the point? So I just made that decision that I was going to stay with my husband, and my husband and I were going to work things out. We sought counseling. And at that point, he started messaging, well, what if we did this and this? And I said, I'm never going to leave him. I said, because I don't want to be that woman who's divorced twice. I said, I get it. I know that I cheated on him. That doesn't make me, it makes me a horrible person. I said, but I'm going to stay with him anyways.
The detective paints a picture where Angel is alone. Isaac has turned on her, and her only protection is now gone. This isolation is intentional. It plays into fear appeal theory, making her fear the consequences of staying silent more than the consequences of confessing. Additionally, the mention that Isaac is throwing her under the bus shifts her perception from co-defendant to potential victim of betrayal, which increases her willingness to salvage her own image by offering partial truths.
And then he started messaging like, well, what if you were dead? Then would you be with me? And I said, I don't understand what you mean. Obviously he's not dead. Then he was like, well, I would be willing to do that for you. And I said, I don't want you to do that. I'm not interested in that. Well, you wouldn't be any part of it. I said, I don't want you to do it. Either I'm a part of it or not a part of it. One time he sent a message and was like, you shouldn't be up so late. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? Well, I came by and you and your husband were still up. And I realized that he was literally psychotic. I kept saying, leave him alone. Get off of him. Leave him alone. And he said, shut the up and put the gun to my head and, bitch, this is happening. I don't care if you wanted to or not. I'd rather go to jail and you be free from him, and I don't have to wonder if you're having sex with him or that you're still together. And like I said, my husband and I's relationship had done a 180. We were making love twice a day. If you go in the room right now, you're going to see the stuff that we bought that we're going to do a photo shoot.
So how do you think you got into the house? Did he know there was a key in the back? Did you leave the key for him? Did you know hide the key somewhere?
No. We always leave the key on that little table. I know my daughter told you that. And it blends in with the table, so I don't know. And I don't know if my daughter left the door locked or he used the key. I don't know.
Has he ever been in your house? Has he ever been in the house?
Only one time he told me, not with me there, that he unlocked the door and came in just to see if he could get in the house without Milton hearing him. And I told him that's really effed up, creepy, and why would, and that was the same night that he said we were up late watching a movie.
The detective doesn't push for a full confession. Instead, they guide Angel towards smaller admissions. That Isaac was obsessed, that he mentioned murder, that he entered the house before, that she withheld information. By getting her to agree to small truths, they erode her resistance to larger ones. This is the foot in the door technique, a psychological principle suggesting that once a person agrees to a small request, they're more likely to agree to a larger one later. It allows the suspect to confess in stages rather than all at once.
When you open the door that night, he's standing there. He tells us that when you came out, that he has a conversation with you before he goes in the room.
No, that is a lie. I swear to you, that is a lie. I opened the door and the door pushed open like this. And he immediately started screaming and yelling and cussing, and I had no idea it was.
And how was he really? Was he really dressed in black? Was he just himself?
All
was
in
he like
black.
normal?
Nope, he was all in black, right down to the shoes. He had a mask on that was a dark gray. You could not see anything. That is the truth.
And what point did you know it was Isaac? I mean, you're
When
in
he
the
stuck
bathroom
the
now.
gun to my head in the bathroom while I was screaming and yelling, "Get off of him!"
So you already know it's Isaac now.
At that point, that's when I realized that it was him. And that's when I really was like, please leave him alone. I told you I don't want to be with you. I told you that I'm staying with my husband. I haven't communicated with you. He said, I know, and that's why I freaked out. I don't know why I did this tonight. I don't know why I lost it tonight, but I lost it. And I needed you. You're not talking to me. You haven't picked up the phone. And I bought this phone for you to talk to me. You're not talking to me. And I said, I told you I'm not talking to you. Because that's my husband. I love him. Get off of him. Get off of him. Please
So
just
what's he
leave.
doing? What's he doing in the middle while y'all having this
I don't
conversation?
know. It was dark. I mean, the only light, I was over here by the bathtub, and he was right here. The toilet's right here. And the only light was from whatever the TV light. The whole house was dark. And I couldn't see him. I still didn't even know until about halfway into that. He was on top of him, which is what I had told y'all before, but that's all I know. I don't know what he was doing. I just knew he was on top of him.
And was Milton struggling? Could you hear him struggling or anything at this point in time?
No.
Because by then he also knew who it was.
Yeah, so
If you're having that conversation with him, he also knows who it is.
well, he never addressed himself.
If you
Yeah.
said, I
Yeah.
told you I didn't want to be with you,
Right,
and your husband's in the
exactly.
room,
Right. No, I have to assume that. You're right.
when you said that he had a conversation with you about what you were going to tell the police, what did he tell you to tell us?
That basically someone had broken in and that they
So-
stole the stuff, which is, what he really did do.
When you called Aaron and told him that he had called you, and we looked at your Facebook messages, and we found the one, why'd you
The one
delete
about
it?
a raincoat.
So,
The one about the coats or whatever, which I didn't respond to, but it was something
then
about
why'd you delete
coats.
it?
I guess I just got scared.
Because it doesn't look good. It honestly makes you look a little bit manipulative.
When Angel is caught deleting incriminating messages, the detective calls it out. Not as a prosecutor, but almost like a disappointed parent. It honestly makes you look a little manipulative. This softer approach triggers impression management concerns, causing Angel to reflect on how she is being perceived. It's a psychological tactic rooted in self-discrepancy theory, the discomfort we feel when our actions don't match how we wish to be seen. Angel wants to be seen as a scared, grieving wife, but her behavior undermines that identity.
To call us to come talk to you about Isaac calling you, and then delete evidence of contact with Isaac right in front of us.
I understand that.
Just the perception
I understand.
is that you've lied to us from the beginning,
I understand.
which you have.
I understand.
So why should we believe you, who's told us at least 2 or 3 sets of lies, and not Isaac, who the only time he's ever spoken about this has just regurgitated everything that happened?
I wouldn't blame you for not believing me. I had an affair and I regretted that affair, and I didn't know the type of person that he was.
When he sent you messages about murdering your husband and asking you to assist him in that, why didn't you call the police?
Throughout the interrogation, detectives subtly reframe Angel's position, not by asking if she was involved, but why she didn't stop it. For example, they ask, why didn't you call the police when he sent you messages about murder? Rather than, did you plan this? This reframing technique presupposes guilt without requiring admission, bypassing her resistance and encouraging elaboration. It's rooted in conversational implicature theory, where the way a question is framed influences the answer and psychological stance of the respondent.
So I didn't think it would really happen.
I want you to assume that every message you ever sent him, that we have the content of.
Okay.
Do I think that there was a plan? Yeah, I absolutely think there was a plan. Whether or not you took it serious or didn't, at some point in time, you did not convince him to not murder your husband.
I tried. I thought I had. I didn't know he was coming that night. I didn't go get the phone because I didn't want to communicate with him.
Where was it supposed to have been?
He had left a message that it was behind the trampoline somewhere in this little area that's part of our pool house shed thing. Not the separate one, but this one. But I never went back there. I never went and looked for it. I never picked it up. I assumed he was getting the message. Instead, apparently, it was making him crazier. I don't blame you for not believing me. I hate myself for not being stronger and just telling you all right from the beginning.
And again, one of the reasons I asked about does he know where your kids go to school is because he told us that after they went to Wilmington, Rhode Island, that you guys were supposed to be together. So how would he have known that otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, he probably did. I mean, I'm sure I talked about it. I talked about all my kids.
Why did you steer us away from him or steer us away in the completely wrong direction? Why did you claim to have seen
Because
jewelry?
he said he was going to kill me and my kids if I didn't.
Hey, I found this jewelry. It looks like my jewelry. That wasn't until days later.
Well, two of the pieces do look like I wasn't lying.
But you knew that they weren't yours.
They do look like
But
mine.
they weren't.
I understand.
Because you know that he didn't steal them.
Right.
So, you understand, you sent us in the wrong direction on purpose.
Because I was scared. I know
Then
this
why
sounds-
not say nothing? Just say nothing, then, hey, I think that, this black guy sold my jewelry to a pawn shop.
The detectives zero in on small inconsistencies, like whether Angel left the key in its usual place, how Isaac knew her kids were gone, or why she claimed certain jewelry was stolen. These aren't just factual gaps. They're tools to expose schema disruption. According to schema disruption theory, when a suspect's fabricated narrative doesn't align with what they should logically know or remember, it causes the lie to collapse under pressure. The detectives aren't just seeking facts. They're applying pressure at the points most likely to crack.
Just say nothing. It makes you look extremely guilty when you sent us in the wrong direction on purpose.
I understand.
And I'm very sorry that Mel died, but I absolutely think that you were complicit in it.
I swear to you, I did not want this to happen.
You may not have wanted it to happen, but it happened. It would be reasonable to think that if you told us that it was him on the morning of August 2nd, that he would have been arrested immediately. And what means would he have to hurt you?
I don't know. I didn't think that through.
You always have. I care what happens from this point forward. Okay? So here's my concerns with you. Isaac is coming in and he's just told all this stuff this morning. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Your story doesn't flood like Isaac's does. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
My fear is that you're leaving something out.
I did not conspire. I see how it looks that way because I didn't tell him. I said I wouldn't participate, but the fact that I didn't call the police immediately, I understand that how it looks.
When you said in the beginning, he said he would never.
Yeah.
But would you have if he had?
No.
Okay.
I made it very clear to him that I would never get a divorce.
Yeah.
That my husband and I, that I just wasn't going to be that person that was divorced twice.
Well, the reason I ask is because a few minutes ago when we talked about that, You said that when you guys had that conversation, and he said that he would never leave his wife because he was a godly man and so on and so forth, and you said, well, what's the point of continuing?
Yeah, I'm continuing to be fair.
Yeah, which kind of indicates that had he been willing to leave, you would have left, which is okay. You know,
I don't know what I would have done. I just know that I had changed.
Your mind?
Yeah, I had changed my mind. I didn't want to be with him. My daughter would have used it at 8:40 to come home that night.
Yeah, but if that happened months prior,
right?
I mean, you change the locks, get a new key, something. It almost looks like you wanted him to get in, because if I knew that someone had broken into my house and I had a hide key, and at least move the hide key.
I see what you're saying, but I didn't think he was actually capable of doing this. I didn't think he would ever do this.
So everything we talk about today is the truth?
Yes, sir.
We have a warrant for you.
I understand.
So we're going to serve that, and from now forward, you're under arrest. So we're going to take you downstairs and get you processed.
After hours of maneuvering, the detectives finally say the words, "From now forward, you're under arrest." But it's not delivered like a threat. It's delivered almost as a formality. That framing, the absence of anger, suggests that everything up to now was her opportunity to show remorse. The emotional tone implies closure, a hallmark of the behavioral influence stairway model. Rapport, empathy, and influence culminating in resolution. For Angel, it's no longer about guilt or innocence. It's about whether she chose to tell the truth before it was too late. In the final phase of Angel Sawyer's interrogation, detectives skillfully dismantle her false narrative using evidence, digital records, and Isaac Melcher's confession. Through calm confrontation and strategic questioning, they expose her lies, omissions, and emotional ties to the killer. While Angel denies direct involvement, she admits to prior knowledge of Isaac's violent intentions and withholding the truth. By positioning her in a morally compromised role and highlighting her manipulation of investigators, the detectives secure enough incriminating admissions to establish complicity. Her statements, combined with corroborating evidence, pave the way for a successful prosecution on charges related to Milton Sawyer's murder. In 2021, Angel Marie Sawyer was found guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder in connection with the 2018 killing of her husband, Milton Sawyer, in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Prosecutors argued that Angel conspired with her lover, Isaac Melcher, to stage a fake home invasion during which Milton was violently attacked and killed. Despite her repeated claims of being a victim, the jury found that Angel had prior knowledge of Isaac's violent intentions and had manipulated investigators by withholding the truth and steering suspicion away from him. As a result, Angel was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Her co-conspirator, Isaac Melcher, who confessed and testified against her as part of a plea agreement, received a sentence of 20 to 25 years for second-degree murder. His cooperation and confession played a crucial role in convicting Angel, helping prosecutors dismantle her false narrative and secure justice.